Okay, so welcome to everybody once again. This is the Tech Write and NQ and A session for July. My name is Sokaribo, and I'm one of the co-authors with respect to the Tech Write and N course. And bidding all of you welcome to this Q&A session. Okay, so the Tech Write and N course, which is more like a workshop, is a form of give back for me and David. And the goal was to enable as much people as possible that are in tech to be able to add writing to their skill and be able to earn from it. Okay, so the basic goal was to empower techies to become technical writers and for them to be able to get a form of side income or as a full career. Okay, and the course has been structured to cover four major parts. The first part is for you to have a broad understanding of what technical writing is. Okay, so you understand, okay, when we say what is technical writing, you understand what technical writing is. How does technical writing actually differ from every other form of writing? Okay, so that is one thing that the course does effectively well, showcasing exactly what technical writing is. The other aspect of the course tends to focus on tech. Okay, there's a reason why we named the course to be Tech, Write, and Earn. Okay, so the tech part of the course tends to give you a broad understanding of how you can learn new technology faster. Because as a technical writer, there's a need for you to actually learn a lot of things, and you have to be able to learn all of these things in record time for you to be able to write as a pro with respect to all of those. Okay, so the tech part of the course slash workshop tends to explain how you could do this effectively well. Okay, so that's the tech part. The writing part has to now be um, I I have learned this technology. How do I communicate it in a way that my intended audience can actually understand this effectively well? So that is what the writing part of the writing segment of the course tends to handle. How to use the style guides, plagiarism, what to include, what not to include, and the rest of them. And then when it comes to the last part, which has to do with the ending part, okay, so I now know what technical writing is. I now know how to learn new technology fast in my area of tech career. And I now know how to communicate that knowledge to an intended audience. So how do I earn from this? So the earning part of the course now addresses that earning, okay? You have the technical writing skills. How can you earn from it? Okay, so that is how the course has been structured. Tech, write, and earn. Okay, and we are very, very grateful to have all of you on board the program. Okay, currently there are over 3,000, I think 3,400 or 3,300, and people currently enrolled for this course. Okay, and we are already having lots of testimonies coming in. Okay, so once again, thank you all for coming for this Q&A session. Remember, the goal of this Q&A session is more like to give everybody to answer your questions. Okay, we understand that when you take courses, sometimes there will be need for you to get explanations that may be confusing for you. Okay, so this Q&A session tends to enable you ask those questions and get clarifications, and then we can progress from there. Okay, so I expect you to have your questions. Okay, so right about now, my co-author David will be coming up. So David, can you hear us? Mhm. Hello, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, use the chat section.
I
So let
can
me know
hear
you
you. I
can
can
hear
hear
me.
you. Let me just finish setting up my mic.
All right, that's fine. Okay. So while David is setting up his mic, how has the experience for the course been so far? Okay, so I want to see use the chat system. Okay, sending your chat. How has the experience been so far? Okay, let me see if I can allow. So while you're using the chat, use the chat. Tell me how has the experience been? It's been awesome from Ifying. Okay, use the chat. Use the chat. Mm-hmm. Using chat. Oh, I can find the chart again. Okay, great, splendid. It's been exciting. Okay. Anyways, that's great. Okay. We're so glad that you will find this as valuable as it can be. Okay, my experience has been great. How do I move this? Waiting room.
Hello, hello.
Yep. Are you done? Are you ready first? Mm-hmm.
I am, I think. Very strange.
Okay. My experience has been great. I've written 2 articles so far. Oh, that's great from GZ. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much. Okay, for everybody that are sending in their feedback. So over to you, David. Mhm.
Okay, I think I'm good. Hello, guys. This is David. I am David Herbert. I am a front end. I'm a front end developer and an active technical writer. And I think Sokaribo has told you guys the objective of why we created a course, which is to empower a lot of you that are still finding your footing in tech, because I think the benchmark for getting into technical writer is actually lower than in most niches, and it's actually easier to start earning from that than going through the traditional route of becoming a full-fledged software engineer, landing your first role, maybe through an internship or otherwise, or open source, and then eventually getting to the point where you are technically capable of providing value to companies. I think that's where you start earning most of the time. But with technical writing, even while learning, provided you have the basic foundation as either a software engineer, a UI UX designer, whatever niche you're in, once you have the basic foundation covered, you can actually start monetizing that by giving value to the community through writing. And I think for me, that has really helped me. While I was schooling, I got into technical writing, and that really saw me through my schooling. So I just felt this would be a good time to teach more people about it. Unfortunately for us, a lot of you have enrolled into the course, and we can't thank you enough. Okay, I think that's it. That's pretty much it about my background. So Karibo is usually the pilot of these speaking, these meetings, so I'll let him do most of the talking. I'm just here to answer questions, I think.
Anyway, it's all good. Do you want to just run through general questions? Okay, because over time we have had general questions such as I am coming in from this aspect of tech. Maybe there is this general assumption that technical writing is majorly for people that can code, and that is for software developers. Okay, so there's been this question of, oh, I can actually do technical writing as a cloud engineer, or I can actually do technical writing as a product manager or a product designer. So there's been this general question of contributions outside of front end development and back end development to technical writing. So could you just talk a bit about that, and also a bit about people that actually have no technical background and actually want to go into technical writing? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, that's true. The last time we had this space, a lot of folks were asking about how they could, if they could get into technical writing from different niches, like if you're in UI UX design, if you're in product management, if you are in DevOps. Technical writing usually is general, is broad. It's not really just for software engineers, although that's the niche that is most active, I think, online. If you go on Twitter, most of the people that are into technical writing are software engineers. But the thing is, like I always say, if in your niche, you ever, while you're learning, you ever come to that point where you're stuck on something, and then you have to Google that stuff. How do I do this in so thing? And it actually brings you to an article online that explains how you can do that stuff. The person that wrote that thing is a technical writer, and that is the product of technical writing. So if you can find a evidence of that online, it means you can actually do it too as a technical writer. Say I am in cybersecurity and I'm trying to figure out how to maybe don't know what people do. They hack a router, for instance, and then I have to Google how do I connect to this router using this software, and it actually brings me to an article. That in itself is evidence that as a cybersecurity specialist, you can become a technical writer because people are already doing it. You're already seeing articles written by other technical writers in your niche online. So regardless of what you're doing, whether it's project management, provided you can Google something in your niche and you come across an article online, already should tell you that you can actually become a technical writer. So I think that covers that. Everybody that is in tech can actually do technical writing, whether you're a product designer. It's just that the niches differ. Say UI UX designers, I think theirs is called UX writing. If you Google UX writing, you would see different articles on it written by UX writers. Product management, I don't know exactly the specifics of what you guys do. But if you can Google, like I said, if you can Google something relating to your current niche and you see an article, a documentation online explaining how to do something, that means you can also do it. As for whether you must have a technical background to become a technical writer, short answer is yes, you must. Long answer is I've seen somebody that is not a technical, that does not have technical background going into technical writing because they were coming from content writing and they felt, okay, since it's all writing, they could also do it. So they got into technical writing. That was last year. As I'm speaking to you right now, that person has fallen back to learning a core programming language because over the course of their journey, they found out that most of the tasks that were assigned to them require them to have technical foundation, require them to know what they are talking about before they could even proceed. Unlike general content writing, where you can just do a bit of research around a topic, you don't need to have a technical foundation because it's not really all that technical. You can write about how to use cheaper cash to buy something online, and you don't need to have a technical foundation to write that. It's just instruction based on your own experience of using the app. Whereas if you are writing for, say, the company itself, and you're writing to developers explaining how they need to integrate their service in React apps, how to use their API in a React app, you obviously have to have a React foundation to be able to understand what the company requires of you and how to actually speak to your fellow developers. You actually have to fit into that shoe. You cannot come from a different niche and not have that technical foundation and be able to flow. Anybody that reads it will see that, oh, this person does not really know what they are talking about, because you probably be misusing terminologies. You will not be able to adequately translate the ideas you have in your head or the ideas in the brief to these people. So I think that answers that. You need to have a technical foundation, be it software development, if you're coming into the software development niche, or product management, UI, UX design, cybersecurity. Provided you have a technical foundation in tech, you can actually tailor your technical writing to that niche that you belong to. It's as simple as that. I don't think there's any other general question that I can think of right now, but if I do recall, or if you can think of anything you want to ask that I've not covered, you can ask in the comment section. Sokaribo.
Yep. That actually covers a lot of those general questions. Okay, so at this point, we'll be opening up the for you to be able to ask your questions. Okay, so there are two ways you can ask your questions. The first way is for you to send it in via the chat chat box, and the other way is for you to signify by raising up your hand. Once you raise up your hand, I would be able to tell you to unmute yourself, and then you can ask your questions. Okay, so please try to keep your questions as brief as possible. And then if it's a general question, you can actually still reach out to us. Remember, in all the mails that you have received, okay, we have told you the fastest way for you to get a response to any form of queries is by sending us an email. Okay, okay.
Okay,
So at this point
somebody is
now,
asking.
if you have a question, yeah. David, go ahead.
Someone is asking, please talk more about different types of technical writing. Didn't we cover that in the course?
That is actually covered very well in the course. Those were your aspects of technical writing. So I am assuming You might one of those people that registered for the course and then you have not gone through it to some extent. Okay, that was covered effectively well. So do well to actually go to the course and then take that part. Or David, do you want to say something brief about that? I don't think so.
No. If it's already in the course, there's no need to waste people's time talking about it since we only have 1 hour.
All right, that's fine. So, should we run through the chat section questions first, or should we just take people raising up the answer?
And take people raising up their hand. I'll be going through the chat.
Okay, all right. Igwe Henry. Um, Igwe Henry, go ahead with your question. I've asked you to unmute. Okay.
Hold on. Before you take hold of the mic, please.
Okay,
we don't plan on spending too much time today, unlike the last time where we were supposed to stay for 1 hour and we ended up staying for almost 3 hours, 2 hours plus. So please, we only have 1 hour today because we have things we need to do. So if you have a question, try as much as possible to go straight to the question. Like, forget the backstory unless it is required. Okay, that's it.
Okay. So Igwe Henry, go ahead. Igwe Henry, are you still here? Okay. If it's not coming up, Adiola praise. Okay. You can go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. So, the question I have is, can you guys hear me?
We
Yes,
can
we
hear
can.
you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when applying for jobs, do they look at the amount of engagement your writing have? Like, is it a factor they consider? And if it is, how do you get the targeted audience to view your post? Because I've written 2 posts already so far, and I actually don't know how to push my post. My posts only have like one has 18 views and the other one has 2 views. I don't know if it's going to
Okay.
affect me when I'm applying for jobs.
When applying to jobs, if you go through, most companies will send you to a form to fill. And when you get to the part where you're supposed to provide a sample, some samples of your work, you would see that they require you to either send them something you've written that is published or unpublished. Now, the fact that there's an option for unpublished work answers your question, because obviously, if you have unpublished work, it means nobody has read it. So, and for them to actually put that as an option, it means they are not interested in how many people have read your work or how many views it has gotten. They are more interested in the technicality of your work, like how, like the topic you're covering. Is it technical? I want to know your ability to be able to tackle technical topics. Are you able to tackle this topic properly? And are you able to explain it in a way that is easy for others to understand? That's the first thing they look at. And then they look at your grammar construct, how well organized, how well formatted, your style guide, like just the basic things about your writing. If it's a company that is still coming up, they might not even pay too much attention to your grammar because they usually have in-house editor that will do a final brushing up of your work before they publish it on their platform. But most companies will actually look at that. So you should use tools like Grammarly that helps you brush up your writing. So it's very up to standard. Once you have those two covered, I don't think there's any other thing you should worry about. But when it comes to actual views, if they are concerned about that, no. They just want to know that this person is actually a good writer. It's not about the audience because they are not working with your audience. It's their own audience. Most of them already have platforms where they will publish your work. They just need you to write for them. So yeah, that answers your question. Sokaribo.
Yep. So
Please.
Adiola praise. Mm-hmm.
Is she still here?
I think she is. Okay,
I
but
think
I
that
think it
answers
did
the question.
justice
We
to
can
that
move.
question. Okay, yeah, I think it did justice to that question. So next person was Igwe Henry. Are you ready now, or I'm going to lower your hand?
Yeah, I was here. I'm here. I couldn't unmute again. Okay, but I have another
okay.
question, just one more question. So I checked your LinkedIn and I saw that you're a front-end developer and a technical writer, but I saw some of the articles you wrote, which are like quite so advanced from front-end development. So I want to actually like in cases where you've been given like jobs to write on topics that are so advanced, do they, and I know they'll give you a timeline like 2 weeks or 1 week, and you have to like really study those topics within that timeline. Do they give you resources to go through, or you have to go and source for those resources yourself? I know that in the course there's a part where you have to base it is taught on how to learn new technologies, but I feel like I just want to like learn how you
Okay.
go through
Okay.
that particular.
I understand. Yes, I am primarily a front-end developer. And truly, if you look at things I've written on, they're spread across different niches in software development. You can confuse me for a full stack developer to an extent because I think Nigeria or Nigerians as a whole, we have this we can fit into different shoes at different times when you're looking for money. It's like the hustling spirit you have. I think most Nigerians actually have that. So yes, I am a front-end developer, but I work for, at one point I was writing for up to 6 companies. And then some of these companies are not front-end oriented. So some of the tasks I get from them are not for front-end developers. But I am I actually needed the money. I would actually go the extra mile and learn the technology while writing the article. Get to the point where I can actually understand and explain that thing in a way that somebody that, say, a backend developer can read an article that I wrote for them and understand it, thinking I'm also a backend developer, whereas I'm not. I'm a front-end developer. So yes, I am primarily a front-end developer, but based on the assignments I get from different companies, I tend to fit into different shoes. I work with DevOps, DevOps a lot, DevOps engineer, because I have one company where I'm primarily active. All of the assignments are DevOps oriented. So I tend to take a lot of assignments from them and I have to play around at their DevOps field. So yes, it depends on your foundation. If as a software developer, be it front end, back end, regardless of where you fit in, if you know what you're doing, if your foundation is strong, sometimes you can actually stretch yourself and do things that are outside of your current niche because you understand what you're dealing with. If I go into, because I've worked in a DevOps team where I actually saw what they do, I got a first-hand experience of how it works, what they are supposed to be doing, how to use CI/CD, how to implement CI/CD. So just by seeing now, I understand. I can now go and do my research behind the scene to gain more knowledge about it. So if I get an assignment around that topic, all I need to do is a little bit of research. As for whether they give you resources to use, it depends. If you're writing for, there are 3 types of companies as I like to break them down. There are companies that have blogs that are looking for readers, customers. So they tend to have technical writers write around different niches and then publish it on their blog, hoping that as developers, when you search for how to do something, you will land on their blog. And by landing on their blog, maybe if you land on their blog 1, 2, 3 times, you can get curious that, oh, what is this company? I've been noticing this name, Log Rocket, Log Rocket. What do they do? You click on their logo and go to their homepage, and then you discover that, oh, these people actually enable you observe your application for errors and then debug it on the go. So already that kind of converts some of their readers to potential customers. That's how they make their own.
Okay. Adiola, you're still up, right?
Yeah, but I can't hear you.
Okay. It seems like we're in Nigeria. Okay, so
All
it
right.
seems like David's network as um, as Nigerian. But anyways, yeah. But you get what he's trying to say, and the fact
Yeah, I
that
understand.
mhm. So that is also part of the reason why we had to tailor a part of the course to enable you understand how to learn new technologies fast. okay, to gain mastery of new technology in a record time. Okay, that's pretty much it. All right.
All right. Thank you
Mhm.
very much. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so Igwe Henry, you're up next. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, good evening. Actually, I was trying to unmute myself, but I couldn't allow me. Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is that I'm actually in the free mode course, so I'm looking into be subscribing to the pro, but it's not actually this month, actually by next month. So I don't know if that is obtainable, like to leave it until that next month, or can I just join then? But I didn't just want to be dormant because I have something to be doing within this month. I don't know if I get my question.
Do you want to be dormant till next month? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that is it possible to subscribe to the pro section, the pro course by next month?
Um, Actually, I can't actually comment to that. Okay. Currently there are over 3,400 people that are enrolled for this course, and it can pretty much be overwhelming for me and David. Okay, so I can't comment on if it will be available by next month. Okay, we may decide to take another route, or maybe to just shut down process to allow people to complete it. Okay, but I can't comment on that right now. Okay, so when we have that discussion, and if it's going to be available next month, then we'll communicate to everybody. Okay, but right now it is available. So now it is available, and take advantage of it. All right.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. So HP, go ahead with your question. Mhm.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
good evening. So okay, so my question is this. What are the opportunities for technical writers in this era of advanced technologies like ChatGPT? And I know like when it comes to like um recreating existing content for maybe specific audiences, right? Uh I think ChatGPT is something that maybe most companies might want to go utilize. So I don't know what are the opportunities when it comes to creating original content. Now I know that that's something that you have to look into, maybe technical writers. But when it comes to recreating existing contents, what are the opportunities for technical writers now?
Okay, anyways, when it comes to that, I can guarantee you that your job is safe. Okay. Currently, if you make use of ChatGPT to write a paid article, I guarantee you that you'll be fired. Okay. And that is because ChatGPT is a robot. Okay. So you would have seen tweets and comments whereby somebody posted something and another person is coming to say, no, be you to write this thing, not ChatGPT right now. Okay. That is because when it comes to the flow of writing, okay, because of it is a robot, there is a way it writes. Okay, so there is a way it writes. So it is easier for you to know that this content was not written by a human being. Humans have this kind of flows. Like for example, now I am talking, and you would hear me make use of a little pause here, a little pause there. Okay, that is how humans talk. So also when it comes to writing as well, there is a way humans write. Okay. So it is very easy for you. For some of the assignments that was sent in, you will see that you received a comment back that this was generated using ChatGPT. Okay. So when it comes to the issue of ChatGPT, to some extent, your job is guaranteed. Okay. Because they would fire you if you right now. And then also consider the fact that okay, they don't tolerate plagiarism. Okay, they don't do a work that's plagiarized because it is taking resources from all over the internet. Okay, so it is easier for it to give you a work that is plagiarized and it is now written in a robot tone, which is easier to pick. Okay, so you can use ChatGPT to support your work, to proofread your work, but don't use it to write the full content of your work. Okay, it's you being It's you being extremely lazy. You want to write as a technical writer, you write. You cannot write, go to other field. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Are you clarified? Mhm. HP. Okay, HP has dropped. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so so next question is from Diakudu. Okay, so we'll take Diakudu, take Elijah, take Uju, baby girl, switch, and Udofa. And then I would answer all of the questions from the chat system. Okay, so go ahead. Mhm. Elijah, go ahead.
Okay, so good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My question is still on ChatGPT and on other AI tools. So, what if I have this idea, right? My learnings, my jottings, and everything. After writing them down, and I'll feed them into GPT and asking the AI tool to like rearrange my works, check for punctuations and other grammatical errors and stuff like that. Does that still count as what you were saying we shouldn't do, or I don't know?
In that case, you're not using ChatGPT to write your work, you're using it to improve your work. Okay, so that is
Okay,
acceptable. So you can use it to improve your work, but don't use it to write the full work. Mhm.
okay. Thanks. That's all.
All right, that's fine. Um, Udru?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My question is because I'm trying to I'm trying to start writing knowledge bases and the tutorial guide. That's like where my core strength is. So my question is, how do I find this one? I did a little Google search and ChatGPT and all that. They said I should go through the product hunt. I should ask product hunt and check for Y Combinator. But then I'm saying if I go that route, does it mean I'll have to log in? Because to write a knowledge base or a tutorial base for a software product, you actually need to sign up and try to use it to just to see what works. So am I supposed to, if I go that route, am I supposed to sign up for each of them to be able to create an outline, or even to maybe write one or two things and then create an outline of what I would like to write about, and then send it to the founder or co-founder? So my question is, one, how do I find the software or Y Combinator route? How do I make it? How do I streamline it more? Like, do I have to sign up for? Let's say if there are 20 new products, do I have to sign up? Yeah, that's the question.
Um, I don't think I get your questions clearly. David, were you able to get the question?
Nope. I'm battling network issues. So my network keeps dropping and coming back. So our line was breaking.
All right, that's fine. So what I was trying to understand was, are you trying to ask how to write knowledge-based articles? But in
No,
your question for how to write, yeah?
that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking to write
In
it.
two sentences, what is your question?
My question is, where do I find the product or the softwares to write knowledge bases for, right? Secondly, if I'm going if I'm going through product hunt or Y Combinator, do I have to sign up for all of them? Let's say if I see 10 or 20 new products launching, so do I have to sign up for all 20 to see how it works, to then maybe write one or two things about it? And then if when I write one or two, and I can then create an outline, send it to a co-founder or a founder of the software to pitch to this person, see, I can write this for you, or blah blah blah. So I'm saying, how do I streamline it? That is, if I go through the product hunt route, the first question is, where do I find it? Where and how do I go about finding these softwares and products to write knowledge bases and tutorial guides for? Secondly, if I go through the product hunt and Y Combinator and all tech sites, how do I streamline it to make my search easier?
All right, that's fine. David, do you want to answer that? So I should go ahead. David?
You have something to say? Please go on ahead.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. There is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Or just go ahead. Are you good? If you're good, you can go ahead.
A question is actually kind of confusing to begin with, but say if I want to write a tutorial, knowledge-based tutorial about a certain technology, say I'll talk from a front-end perspective to write a tutorial about Svelte, a new framework, a new React framework, or say I want to write about React, I would need to understand React. So, Sokaribo, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can actually. Go ahead.
Okay. So I would have to go and play. I will have to go and play with the technology itself to get an understanding of how it works, the ins and outs, and then maybe focus on a particular topic in that technology that I want to write about. Why I'm confused about what you're asking is because I do not need to actually speak to the founder, co-founder to be able to understand that. I can just go to their documentation, see what their product is all about, get an understanding of it, and then I can write as much articles as I want around React. It's that broad. I don't have to jump through the loops of several technologies to be able to write about a certain technology. I can just focus on one technology, and there will be so many topics to write about in that technology. What confuses me about your question now is, if I want to pitch myself to a company, I do not have to pitch myself to the founder of React. I can pitch myself to any technology company that is interested in React, because now I have samples of articles I've written around React that showcases that I'm a technical writer, I have the experience, and I can actually write on these technologies. As for where I will have to find the technology companies that fits my niche, well, that's up to me. I do not have to go through I don't even think you can go through Product Hunt and find. Product Hunt doesn't really list out the technologies that they used in building an application, if I recall.
I think
It's just
there's this misconception of, when it comes to knowledge base and tutorial, you're writing on, maybe now you want to write on how to use Facebook. Okay, so I think that's one misconception that was specific in the questions.
Okay. I guess that was okay. That's why I was actually confused, because a knowledge base info library is usually around a certain product, and it's written by the company itself, and they keep those information on their website. So if I wanted to contribute to their knowledge base, I could go to the website, the application's knowledge base, read about it, see where they made mistakes, or see ways I can improve on their knowledge base, and then pitch myself to the company saying, okay, I went through your knowledge base and I noticed this and this and this out of place. I'm a technical writer. I have social experience. These are samples of my work, and I can help you people brush up these parts. I can help people write better on this part. I can see that you guys did not explain this properly, and I have a better explanation for it. I can actually link to my own pitch, my own article pitch, knowledge base pitch for the parts I'm trying to correct or brush up. I can just sell myself to them based on I'm interested in their product and I want to contribute to their knowledge base. I do not have to have my own knowledge base, because really you cannot have your own knowledge base of another company's product. It's the company that usually has that and gives other people access to it. You can only contribute to it. So your question really is throwing me off. So Sokaribo, unless you have something else you'd like to contribute to that.
That's actually pretty much it. So for you to write about something, it is always best for you to have knowledge with respect to that. Okay. It is easier for people to pick when you're trying to write about something that you have no knowledge on. Okay, so try to write about something that you have knowledge about. Okay, if it's a product, what aspect of the product do you have knowledge about? And if you want to write an help guide, like David say, and go through your technical documentation and see what you can improve, and then you can pitch yourself to them. Okay, So that's pretty much it. Uju, that's all right. Are you clarified? Are you okay? That was Uju, right? Um, anyways, that's fine. Okay. So at this point, let's just address some of the questions we have in the chat section. Okay, and then we would come back to the raising of your hand. It is almost o'clock. So let's just
Sokaribo, I can no longer hear you. Or is it my network? Hold on.
and this meeting is supposed to be for 1 hour only.
Okay, so I'm guessing his network
The
has.
first question I am seeing is trying to niche on knowledge base.
Sokaribo.
Okay, I think that need more clarifications. Feel free to reach out to that. That's not what happened. Yeah. Okay. I think it was the net, but I was okay. So if you still have questions with respect to that, feel free to reach out to me. Is it my network or is David's network? Comment section. Okay. Which network? Can you all hear me right now? Okay, okay. So it's David's network and village people. It's not my village people. So moving on ahead, can you shed more light with respect to how to know what to write about? Okay. Normally I do recommend write about what you have knowledge about. Okay. Because when you write about what you have knowledge about, it is easier for people to see your expertise when it comes to that and recommend gigs from you. There are times I have written an article and posted, and a random organization just sends me an email, okay, from the article. They neither commented on the article or anything, but from that article, they're sending an email, okay, to say, we read this your article and we'd love you to write about this for us, okay. So try to write about what you have knowledge about, okay, or what you're learning, okay. But when you're learning, okay, when it comes to what you're learning, it has to be more like you writing a how-to guide, maybe. So you're learning how to implement a feature, maybe a front-end feature. Okay, so you struggled with it, and now you have been able to implement it. And while you were trying to apply that feature, you went through several problems. Okay, so you can now decide to write an article or explaining how you did it. Okay, because no other person has actually explained it the way that if you had seen it, it would have been very easy for you to implement. So that's pretty much how you actually find what to write about. Okay. As a data analyst, I should write things related to data analysis. That question has been answered. Yes. Write about what you have knowledge about. I'm having difficulty making payments for the course, but it's not successful. There are several payments links that you can use. Send an email, and they're going to send all of them for you to try to actually resolve that. Is it okay to write beginner-friendly articles as you learn, even though there are millions of these articles out there? Yes, it is okay to write beginner-friendly articles because normally, sometimes you see that when you want to try to implement all those beginners-friendly articles, um, in some way you have to go through like 5 before you can actually implement what you need to implement. Okay, so you're going through like 5. It means there is a lapse in knowledge that needs to be covered. Okay, so you can now write one that addresses all of those things that each of them missed. Okay, ensure that what you're writing actually covers all of that and write a more beginner-friendly article. So yes, you can. Yes, it was in the course. Is it okay? The next question is from Elijah. Can you speak more on plagiarism, most especially self-plagiarism? Okay, plagiarism is one aspect of the course that we try to give as much information as possible on. We even gave you our story of how we were fired because of plagiarism that didn't actually come from us. Okay, so plagiarism is a very, very serious problem. Okay, so um, you have to try as much as possible to avoid it. And self-plagiarism is more like you trying to cover and copy what you have written yourself in another article and trying to state it again in the article. It is you actually plagiarizing yourself. Okay, the computer is not going to note that this was written by you. Okay, in another article, it is going to categorize that as being plagiarism. So every article and every content has to be original in itself. Okay, so if you need to rephrase, you rephrase. And just like David will always say, there are some times that you see a phrase and the phrase is as perfect as it can be. Like there is no other way to write this in a more perfect way. Okay, so in that case, you can actually try to repeat it or try to reduce the amount of time that you do that. Okay, is David back? Um, David's village people, Tizeti and David. Okay, Tizeti can be a very funny network. That is why I had to pull out from them. Um, okay, so moving on ahead to the next question. The next question is I'm a blockchain, I'm having difficulty. I'm a junior blockchain developer with 1 year experience. How can I get into technical writing? I think that question has already been answered by David when we started, and it's basically that's what the course hopes to help you do. So you're a junior blockchain developer. There are aspects of blockchain that you already have knowledge about. So it's for you to understand how to improve on this knowledge, how to write about them to your target audience, and how to write about them in a way that is
Hello. Good evening. Maybe. Can you guys hear me? Hello? I can't hear anything now.
learn from it. So, how can you get into writing, earn money, and get your first ever gig? How? Again, the plagiarism checker in the course are not as hello. hmm And my network went off too. David's network people has decided to also affect mine. Let me bring him up. Okay. The internet is crazy. Okay, so um, it is well. So when it comes to the issue of earning, it's for you to actively look out for opportunities. The better you are in looking out for opportunities, the better you are in getting gigs. Okay, and put yourself out there, put your writing out there, and recently I needed to hire a product designer, and um, from the portfolio to everything I received from the product designer, there was no email, there was no phone number. So it took me almost a day, okay, of going to send the person a message on which platform was that again? On LinkedIn. And the worst part of that LinkedIn is I had to send her a connection request first before I could send her a message, okay, because she sent the portfolio in and then there was no way of contacting her. Okay, so when you design your portfolio, try to ensure that there's a clear-cut way of contacting you. I've told you of how I've been able to get gigs by people just seeing my writing and then sending me an email for me to write about something for them. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, if David has anything to add there, David is going to add once he is more stable. Okay, so
Add to what? I've not even been online. My network has been playing with me. I've switched to another one, same issue.
that is right. So I'm trying to answer all the questions from the comment section. So I am at Dijazzy, Dyagz. How do I incorporate SEO to my article so that I can write what people are searching for and also get more people to see or read my articles? Do you want to take that?
Uh, okay. SEO wise, I would advise you tailor the title of your article to exactly what people would be searching for. For instance, I think, funny enough, I do not worry about SEO when I'm writing because oftentimes the platform on which I am publishing the article I'm writing usually takes care of most of the SEO. In regards, say you publish your article on Hashnote, for instance, and your article is actually good. Say the title of your article is a captivating title that actually grabs the attention of readers. When you publish the article on Hashnote pushes the article to their homepage first. And then based on the interaction or the engagement they get with that article, it slowly goes down the homepage and then finally disappears from the homepage. So if you write an article and the title is very captivating, very intriguing, a lot of people will click on that title first from the homepage of Hashnote. So the more people click on the article, the longer it will stay on the homepage. And then sometimes based on the engagement, Hashnote will even feature it on their homepage. Now, based on the engagement you are getting there, there are platforms that crawl Hashnote, Medium, Dev.to to look for interesting, engaging articles that people are engaging with. Based on how interesting your title is and how engaging your article is, these platforms can pick your article and feature it on their own homepage. From there, more people will engage with the article, and before you know it, your article is on Google's homepage as the #1 article for that theme. For instance, I have an article I wrote for a company that, in short, 40% of the articles I've written for several companies are on Google's homepage for keywords that I was not exactly targeting, but it was solving the problem for those keywords. So if you're writing, I would say, first of all, let your title be geared towards the specific needs of people that will be interested in the article. If it's how to integrate, I have an article that was ranking on Google's homepage for almost a year plus, which is what was the title of the article? Sorry, give me a second. Solving prop drilling in React applications. That was the name of the article. That was the title, because a lot of people struggle with prop drilling, how to handle state management in their applications in React. And I wrote an article trying to solve that problem and giving alternative ways to actually go past that problem. And I titled it Solving Prop Drilling in React Application Without Using Redux or Context API. And that article was ranking #1 on Google for a year plus. And when I wrote that article, my experience with technical writing was just starting. I just got into technical writing. That would have been my fourth paid article that I wrote. And it was on Google's homepage for a year plus, almost a year and 6 months. Right now, it's still on Google's homepage. I think it's now ranking at #3 or so. on the first page, but before it was number one. Literally, Google had to put a search box at the top that actually had some of my content displaying on the Google's homepage once you search for that problem. So my advice is always tailor your title to solve the specific needs of the people that will be looking for that article. See, if I am going to be looking for an article that solves prompt reading, obviously I would want maybe how to solve prompt reading in React application. That is what I would type on Google. And Google will look for the article that has the title that is closest to that first of all, before it even goes through the contents. So title is very important. How you name your title should be well tailored to the people you want to find your article. To the content of your article doesn't necessarily, you don't have to necessarily fill in keywords like most people will advise you do. I don't even think you should do that. Most people advise you fill your article with keywords that enable your article rank for certain things. But from my experience, I've never done that before. I won't lie. But from my experience, with most of my articles ranking on Google's homepage, I just try as much as possible to be solving the problem that I am writing the article to solve. And somehow the right audience tend to find it, because if somebody lands on Hashnode and sees your article and goes in to read your article and they're always seeing filler words, you're throwing in a lot of filler words. Yes, that article might actually rank on Google, but it will not be providing much value if your primary goal is just to rank on Google and you're not actually solving the problem of the reader. It won't even take long before Google realize that people are only interacting with this article based on they are pushing it to people. Once they get into the article, the bounce rate is very high. They don't stay in the article long enough because they have seen that, oh, this person is not providing value. Whereas an article might have poor word constructs, might have low keywords, but based on the kind of engagement that article keeps getting, because each time somebody opens the article, they end up spending 4 minutes, 5 minutes on that article because they're still reading it. And Google records all of that. Google records how long somebody spends on an article. And based on
Hello. Hmm? Can you all hear me? And David's network, okay. David's network has happened again. Okay. But anyways, I think he has done justice to that question. Okay. And you should have been able to get clarity on that already. Okay. So moving on ahead. Um, the next question that we have is Please I by Ernest, which is I use Ashnos to publish on desktop. It's the same, but on mobile it's messy. Also checked David's article on Ashnos and it's also messy in mobile view. How do we fix that, please? I don't know, but on my phone, all the articles are actually the way they are supposed to be. Messy may be coming from maybe you have an outline and you're also implementing table of content. Okay, there's a way that you would implement table of content on your article and then it's going to make it messy. Okay, but just write it normal and use Markdown. And if it's appearing where it's going to be appearing where, and then use the app. Ashnote as an app, which is what I mostly use. So we use the mobile app to also view your article. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, is David back? We have 15 more minutes. We're supposed to end this by o'clock, but because of all our network issues, we're going to give it more time so we can provide as much questions, as much answers as possible. Okay. So I am assuming everybody can hear me. Okay. Why David sorts out his network and come back. Okay. And moving on from the question of Ashnode, the next question is by Ifeanyi. Typically, how long does it take to be a technical writer? How long should a technical piece be? Should he be bothered about exhausting a particular topic? If these questions are covered in the course, don't bother. How long does it take to be a technical writer? Um, you can be a technical writer in a day, or a technical writer from a definition of who is a technical writer, somebody that writes a technical article. So it's not a matter of how long it takes you to be a technical writer. It's a question of how long it takes you for you to start earning as a technical writer. But this is actually has been covered in the course of and in the emails that has been sent, okay, of types of people and how you can actually benefit the most. Okay, from Tunde, I have started writing about robotics while I am a data analyst. Should I decline from that niche because I have started learning um, I've started writing about robotics, but I am a data analyst. Should I decline from that niche because I have started learning a lot about it? Should you decline from the niche? Um, Not really. Okay, just write about it's all boils down to you writing about something that you have sufficient knowledge about. Always try to ensure that whatever you're writing about, it is something that you can communicate effectively well about. Let people not see that you're struggling to actually explain this. Okay, so let it be whatever you're writing about, something that you have sufficient knowledge about. Can the 2 weeks be extended? Some of us actually take our assignment seriously. Um, it is well. Let my boss David come up. Can we type our question in the chat box? Yes, we can. Do we still have access to the course after completing it for 2 weeks? It has already been answered. I don't think so. Okay, so that's pretty much no. Can you shed more light on how to earn money? That question has been answered. Baby girl, you were repeating your question over and over again. Um, when will our assignments be assessed? Pretty much your assignment has been assessed already. People that your assignments have now been assessed may just mean that you submitted late, but a lot of the assignment has already been assessed. Okay, so what might be pending is the last articles that everybody is supposed to write about, and the last 3 articles which everybody is supposed to write about. That should be what is remaining. But for the first 2 assignments, for everybody that submitted early, you should have gotten a response on your assignment already. Okay. Then the next question is you're probably having how do you push your articles to next question is how do you push your articles to the right audience? Is there a specific place to place your articles to get the audience? And if yes, please tell me how. It depends on what you're writing about. We do recommend that you make use of Ashnode and dev.to because the audience in those communities are also techies like you, so they are more focused on technical articles. Okay, so if you are writing something technical, preferably just push it to Ashnode and use canonical link, which is explained in the course, to also push it to dev.to. So those are two platforms that we recommend that you push your articles to, especially if they're technical articles. Okay. Then there was a question I saw from one of the tests, but I couldn't get a suitable answer. It was asked, how will I know if a piece of information is general knowledge and is not from another author? How will I know if a piece of knowledge is general knowledge and is not from another author? I don't understand that question pretty much. Okay, I came in late, but don't know if it has been answered. Do you review our work after we are done with all the tasks or during? Oh, yes, it's been reviewed. Please, what apps do you use to get paid as a technical writer, apart from PayPal and Paystack? It depends on the company, pretty much it. Okay, so that's why we have lots of fintech companies in Nigeria. Okay, so you can use from Grey Finance to the rest of them to Eversend. There are so many that you can actually make use of. Okay, for some people it differs. Um, for some people as well. So there are diverse you can make use of. So it all depends on which one the company wants to pay you and which one you can easily open up. I can't pay for the pro access post subscriber using Paystack. Um, Angela, you have any issues paying using Paystack? That's why the Flockta Wave has been made available, so you can actually make payments using the Flockta Wave. So those late submission of assignment test wouldn't be graded. Oh, it would be graded. Okay, we're just saying for people that have submitted now, you should have gotten a response already. Okay, so it will still be reviewed and you'll be graded. Okay, please can you type out sites you just mentioned? Ashnode and then dev.to. Can we upgrade to paid subscription after exhausted the 2 weeks free subscription? Yes, you can. Please spell Ashnode. You got the spelling of Ashnode. Just remove the T to D. Okay, it is Ashnode. Then dev.to is dev dot to. Okay, so let me check if David is back. Um, so David is not yet back. It is 30 people. We'll drag them this night. Anyways, it's all good. Okay, so we are almost getting to the ending of this Q&A session for today. Okay, so so there's a question that I have not answered, which is with respect to the 2 weeks access. Yes, okay, so after the 2 weeks access, you are not going to do the upgrade. Okay, so we understand that for a lot of you, you actually spend so much time in trying to cover up the assignment. Okay, and I wanted David to come up so I could talk to him about this first. Okay, but anyways, I would speak to David. Okay, I'm sure he's going to accept. Okay, for the next 12 hours. Okay, for the next 12 hours, for those of you that would like to subscribe for that would like to upgrade to the pro access, because I understand that for a lot of you your 2 weeks actually expiring this week, and for others it's next weekend. Okay, so for any of you on this call that would like to upgrade to the pro access for the next 12 hours, I think we can do a 20% discount for you. Okay, so we can do a 20% discount for you. It is going to, it's 12 hours, not much. The time now is, the time now is 6:12. Okay, 12 hours is a lot of time. Okay, so let's say in the next 6 hours. So from now till 12 o'clock. Okay, I pray David does not um, bite me. It's surely going to accept. Okay, this is our goal with this course was not for us to generate fund. This is a more like a give back from us to you. Okay, the amount of time that we have actually spent to respond to your questions, if we put it into write an article, it's we know how much that we would be making. Okay, so for the next 6 hours, if you would love to upgrade to the Pro Access version, I think we can do a 20% discount for you. Okay, so I will be dropping the link on the chat section right now that you'll be able to use to upgrade. Okay, it's only going to be available for 12 hours and from now to 12 o'clock sharp. So by 12 o'clock sharp, that link is going to be deactivated. So if you would love to upgrade, okay, if you would love to upgrade, there is a 20% discount for you right now that you can take advantage of. Okay, so there's a chat system. Okay, so I have dropped the link on the chat system. So use that link to please. This is not available to everybody. Okay, it's available to you for attending this Q&A session. Okay, that is why this is given to you. So it is not available to everybody. Okay, this is for you and you alone because you are special to me and you took the time to actually be here for this Q&A session. So if you would like to upgrade, this is the link. You would see it there. You'll see the link paystack.com/pay technical thingy. For those of us that are outside of Nigeria, okay, you might have issues using that link to make payment. So I would be dropping an alternate link that you can use to upgrade. Okay, for those of you that will want to make use of PayPal, international cards, your Ghana mobile money, and the rest of them. So I am dropping the link now on the for you to be able to use to make payment. Okay, activate payment link. Okay, so for the international people outside of Nigeria, make use of the Flopta Wave link, okay, if you would love to upgrade. So please try to note the links down. I don't know if I can pin it. There is no pin feature. Okay, I'm not seeing a pin feature. So you would see a Paystack link, paystack.com/pay tech write and earn subsidy. Okay, and for the Flocta Wave, it's still floctawave.com/pay tech write and earn subsidy. So if you're making international payments, try to make use of the Flocta Wave link to make a payment. Okay. So that would be pretty much all for today. So remember, guys, we have this goal of enabling you to start earning um, by the time you're done with this course. Okay. We always advise. That's why we send lots of emails. Okay, to try to encourage you to stay consistent in your learning. Okay, don't just enroll for the course and just leave it. Okay, try to carve out time for you to dedicate to learning and owning your skill. Okay, the opportunities when it comes to technical writing is massive. I know how much I have earned from it, and it's going to millions. Okay, same thing goes for David. Okay, David's journey is also something that is open about my story growing up and my own struggles. Okay, but the truth is, when it comes to technical writing, it is something that we have been able to earn a lot of money from, and for me, it's something I do by the side. Okay, so it's something I do by the side, and David more like does it almost full time. He does it with all his front end development gig, and what he was also doing technical writing. He was doing technical writing, balancing school and balancing front end career. Okay, so the opportunities when it comes to this is actually massive. Okay, so and give it time to own your skills, stay consistent, and when it comes to that, looking for opportunities. Okay, you have to look for opportunities. You have to do the work. Okay, sometimes you have to send in your draft. Okay, that is why we took the link is invisible. Please find it. It is there. Okay, anybody that is seeing the link, please reference it for other people so they can see. Let me paste it one more time. Okay, so what I am saying is put in the time that you have to actually put in. Okay, the opportunities when it comes to technical writing are massive, and most times you have to search for those opportunities by yourself. I've sent the link again. Okay, you would see the two link. Okay, so the opportunities when it comes to technical writing are massive, and most times you have to search for search for those opportunities. So through the course, we gave you a list of companies that you can apply for, and there is also a reason why we taught you how to write technical proposals. Some companies that you apply for, they would require you. They don't even require you to they might require you to have things that you have written in the past. But when it now comes to what you're going to write about, it is you that is going to tell them, this is what I want to write about. So it's more like you sending in a technical proposal. Okay. So there are several companies that are available out there that are waiting for you to send in a technical proposal to tell them, I want to write about this thing for your company. Okay. I know these are things that are going to be beneficial to you. Okay. So that's why I want to write about this. Okay. You have to be able to actively reach out to these organizations. Okay, write the email, use your words. Okay, stop trying to make use of chat gpt. It is so bad. I see people trying to, you want to respond to an email, you're making use of chat gpt to respond to an email. Okay, it is, you're actually not helping yourself as a writer. Fixing that human flow, there are human errors, it is understandable. Okay, but improve yourself, read lots of books, write, write and write. Okay, so send out, prepare your proposal, send to organizations, grab Google, search for all of these organizations, send them a proposal that this is something you want to write about. They're going to respond. There are sometimes I want to write something, and then I can send that proposal to like 4 different companies, and any of them that reaches out the fastest with the highest to offer for it, it's the one I actually go on with. Same thing goes with David. Okay, sometimes they send a proposal and it is who responds to it faster and who is offering to actually make payments for it is who you now write it for. Okay, so there are various ways there you can actually earn from this. Okay, so just try to put on the work and actively look out for opportunities. For there is a lot of opportunities when it comes to this. Okay, so This is going to be a closeout. David was not able to join back, and David was not able to join back, even if I would have loved him to join back so he could say a closing stuff. But anyways, it is all well. Okay, so in the absence of any other, in the absence of any other thing, um, the links are already there. I don't know. I don't want to send this to everybody. Okay, I wanted this opportunity to only be available for you guys that attended this Q&A. Okay, so look for this link and copy it. Okay. Um, so take advantage of this opportunity now. And if you have any question, you can reach out to me via Twitter or LinkedIn. Those are my two platforms. Okay, Twitter and LinkedIn is where you'll find me. You wouldn't find me on Facebook. If you send me a message on Facebook, you're on your own. Same thing goes for David. Okay, so you can reach out to us via LinkedIn, Twitter. But if you have a query when it comes to the course, send an email to tech.write.n@gmail.com. Okay, if you send that, you're guaranteed a response in the next 5 hours maximum. Okay, so the email is the fastest way to get a response with any question that you have is to send an email to Tech Write and Earn. Because when I'm working, I have to shut down my social media. Same thing goes for David. Okay, you already wanted it to be for just 1 hour because I have deadlines I have to meet before tomorrow, and same thing goes for David. Okay, so but when you send an email, we are already there. It's faster for to just respond to it and then get done with it, and then we move on. So it's faster for us to respond to emails than doing social media. So if you have something that is urgent that you need to actually get a response to, send us an email at tech.write.n@gmail.com. Any of us is going to respond to it, and then that's pretty much it. So I would check the comment session one more time. And then I would close this meeting. So I please check your. Oh, I was sending that. Okay, hey, look at me and technology. People that are actually in the waiting room. So I just again, hey, with all my technical knowledge. hmm So I'm dropping the two links all over again. So the Flutter Wave is for international payments, and the Paystack is for every other person. Okay, so I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't check it. So I was sending message to people in the waiting room instead of sending to everybody. Okay, so that's the link. I will give 5 minutes for you to be able to copy the link and save the link. But please remember, it's only going to be available from now till 12 p.m. this evening. By 12 p.m. this evening, it's going to be shut down. Okay, we are going to shut it down by 12 p.m. this evening, and it is only available to you guys. Okay, for now, it is just to you guys only. So I might not be sending this via email to anybody. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. The recording will also be sent to everybody from now till tomorrow. Okay, and any other thing, feel free to reach out. So at this point, our next Q&A session might be, I don't know yet. Okay, I will talk to David and then see when that is going to come up because I have lots of travels to do in this July. So I'll be on transit for most of July till mid August. Okay, so I'll talk to him and see how we can arrange something that works for my schedule and his schedule as well. Okay, so so David is joining. Okay, so when it comes up, he will just give 1 or 2 words, and then we can close. So the link is there. I'm also trying to give you guys time for you to just copy the link out. Okay, so I'm trying to give you guys time to copy the link out. So so that's pretty much it. David, join a Tizeti network. Avoid Tizeti. hmm Avoid Tizeti. Okay. hmm hmm You all can hear me, right? David is trying to join. Yes, we can. hmm We are going to yab Tizeti today. So join us on Twitter as we attack Tizeti this night for what they have done to us with respect to this meeting. Okay. So that's pretty much it. So David, has David joined? Let me check through. Um, let me check through. David. Mhm. David, and he was not able to join. So that'll be all for today, guys. So we would send in more information. So I expect everybody has copied the link right now. So feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn, Twitter. We're also on Trend. Okay, so if you want to reach out to us via Trend as well, that's acceptable. But when it comes to faster response, send an email to tech Write&Earn. And also, we are open to sponsorship. Okay, you would have noticed that earlier this week there was a form of sponsorship by some of our friends that decided to subsidize the fee for some people. So if you have an organization that would love to actually partner to make this available to a lot of people, feel free to actually reach out to us. So the platform is designed to accommodate as many people as possible. We can actually accommodate up to 1 million people, and the platform is going to run effectively well. So if you have people that are willing to um, go through any form of partnership to make this course, the Pro access available to people as a non-profit organization or as an organization, feel free to reach out to us, okay? And we are open to all of that, okay? So thank you guys, and I wish you all a wonderful time. Okay, so bye for now, everybody. Okay, is the link to bye for now, everybody. Okay, so bye. Mm-hmm. Record.